Today, the world has lost one of my greatest heroes, Dr. Jane Goodall. She was visiting in California to speak. She's speaking in a number of locations, and later this week on Friday, I was supposed to go see her talk in Los Angeles. When I got the news today, I was I was devastated because I was so excited to see her in person and listen to her words and her wisdom about her work in conservation. This is meant to be a tribute to Dr. Jane Goodall and her work done around the world. And I wanted to share how her legacy has affected me and the kind of work that I am doing and am wanting to do in the future. I should start by talking about a misconception that I had about her. Growing up in Oklahoma, South, um, and I was watching TV and seeing all these big personalities like Steve Irwin, Jeff Corrin, and a few others share the world of the wild with an audience. I didn't really see anyone that looked like me, and Jane Goodall was the first woman that I had ever known to go out into the wild and work with wild chimpanzees, let alone any other animal. So already I had a connection with her in that regard, that we were people who did not look like the typical person that does the kind of work like this. But I also assumed that because she was white, British, um, that she must have had some kind of backing or some kind of wealth that allowed her to do the work that she did. Because growing up, I always heard that working in wildlife, working in conservation, it's hard to do if you didn't already come from money. And for a very long time, I assumed that was Jane Goodall's story until I bought tickets to see her and I decided I wanted to read more about who she is and or I guess who she was. And what I learned was that when she visited Tanzania for the first time back in 1960, she had no prior experience in conservation. And as I understand it, she worked as a secretary and saved a lot of money and just went to Africa on her own accord. No backing, no other incentive than to, I guess, see the world more than what she knew. And as I understand it, she fell in love with the animals that she met. And I wish I knew that sooner about her. I misunderstood Jane Goodall. I thought that she was wealthy to start. Because why else would someone have such a huge impact the world over if it didn't come from wealth? And I was wrong. And I wish that I had heard her say it for herself in person. One of the things that I love most about Jane Goodall was her curiosity. Something I have to remind myself every day that curiosity is something we need to nurture more in society. Because curiosity is what leads us to our purpose, in my mind. My curiosity has brought me to a side of the world that I didn't think was for me, and it is. It brought me to a place and the kind of work that I didn't think would be for me. But because I was curious, I found it. And Jane Goodall did the same thing. She was curious about chimpanzees and their behavior, and now, even in passing, she is the face of primate behavior, and that is so inspirational to me, at least. And because of her curiosity, she didn't let a male dominated field get in her way, and even money for the most part. She did what she wanted, and everything else be damned. And I need to remember that doing what you truly love, if it's what gives you purpose, and that's the key. If it gives you purpose, it's worth doing. She changed the way that we see primate behavior, and she changed the way we, as in humans, um, relate to chimpanzees. I think that's a big deal, and um, we need to remember that. in her wake. That the work she's done has elevated our understanding of animal behavior and humans and how we relate to animals. The last thing I'll want to talk about that relates to her and will probably relate to the kind of work that I will do going forward is that there's this idea, not this ideal, uh, this hard truth that humans, we cannot separate ourselves from nature. We're a part of it. And I think that's important to remember. In everything that we do and whatever we prioritize, we have to remember that we affect nature and in turn, nature will affect us. It's how we take care of nature that in turn, nature will treat us. So whether that's with animals or the environment, it's important that we understand our role in it. So where do we go from here? Well, I think the best thing we can do is going forward to honor Jane Goodall's legacy by, in some way, thinking about her values that benefit wildlife. So, reduce your waste, um, support conservation, and have empathy for the animals that we share this planet with. That's the simplest thing you can do. What's more, if you want to take a step further, you can do what I'm going to do, and you can donate to the Jane Goodall Institute. You can visit the website janegoodellinstitute.org and donate there. And what this will do is one, help protect wildlife, which is great. That's my favorite thing about it. You'll also support young change makers in the face of conservation, inspiring young people, and also help fund mentorship. This is, um, in the long run, what her legacy will be about. And so I plan to be a regular donor to the Jane Goodall Institute. So thank you for listening. I felt this is just something I need to share because this is a pretty hard blow for me. I really wanted to see her and listen to her words in person. Um, but I think that goes to show that it doesn't end with admiration. If you really want to honor the people that inspire you, it's time to step up and be the next line of it. And so I hope that the work that I do in the coming years is a fraction, maybe a little more than a fraction of the work that Jane Goodall has done, not only for chimpanzees, but for people the world over. I'm going to let that inspire me. So, whatever your inspiration is, let it carry you. Let it motivate you in everything you do. And remember that no matter what animal it is, large or small, popular or unpopular, every species is worth protecting.